So just to reflect back on the last couple of days then, some pretty wild scenes to come out of London. I can certainly empathise with and understand the frustration. I think what happened to Sarah was awful and horrific and shocking, and rightly so. We should be drumming up these conversations around this topic and having discussions about potential solutions that we can implement in future to prevent these crimes from happening again. But one thing that does interest me is the fact that a seemingly consensus, bipartisan, non-partisan issue even can become so politicized and a source of division between left and right. Because anyone with any kind of sense of common decency can recognize these issues, yet it is one that we remain divided over. And I think part of this explanation is the fact that the left do such a great job of repelling people from their position and making issues so polarizing. And the way they do this is by taking the stance that either you conform or comply to our perspective and our viewpoint on this issue, or you're part of the problem. Now, no one likes to be coerced into thinking a certain way, and no one likes to be told they are part of a problem, particularly a problem as serious as violence towards women and rape. And not only this, but the ideas that they are demanding that we subscribe to are highly controversial. In this particular instance, we have the Blame All Men campaign. I know we're seeing on Instagram these posts which are essentially saying, it's not all men, but because it's a few men, we need to be wary of all men, and basically justifying the slogan that it's all men. And it's a great way to turn people off of your cause, generalizing an entire group of people based on their gender because of the crimes of a select few individuals. And it ties back into this wider Marxist style thinking that the left employ with these issues, whereby it is seemingly acceptable to generalize when it comes down to the perceived oppressor class. Now, all men are considered to be part of this oppressor class, and therefore they are all at fault here. And it's exactly the same problem that we see with race, whereby it is acceptable to generalize with white people because they are perceived to be oppressors, and terms like white privilege, which stereotype every white person as being privileged, are somehow acceptable. Yet the left hold completely different standards when it comes to other groups or groups they perceive to be oppressed. For example, if you were to generalize Muslims in the context of terror attacks or black people in the context of knife crime, it is exactly these same people that would be the first to call you out and criticize you and condemn you and deplatform you and cancel you. And to be completely honest, we shouldn't be generalizing across any of these issues. It's another example of left-wing hypocrisy, and yet another instance of the left using these incredibly polarizing, poorly thought out strategies around issues that realistically we should be unified and united around, because ultimately we can all agree on them.